Hello, this is a demonstration of the system's Paul Fabre emergency light management system built for Kevin Bernardo's circus. The system comes in a 4U ATA road case for durability. I've already removed the rear cover. We'll remove the front cover. And the unit consists of a very high quality uninterruptible power supply from Cyber Power and a custom built control interface that does a number of things that a UPS cannot do and makes control of your emergency lighting and or work lighting systems very simple and intuitive. First thing I'll do is apply power to the rack. The system enters a boot mode. The UPS asks to be booted. We're going to tell it, yes, that's just fine by us. And we'll talk about the state of the indicators and the state of the system at this point. On the front of the unit, there's a input voltage present indicator that indicates the voltage itself as well as the fact that it is plugged in. Here's a control power present indicator that indicates that the low voltage power supplies that operate the internal electronics of the system are on and functioning. We'll talk about the amber lights in a moment. The white light in the center indicates that the UPS is on and operating. If you just notice the lights change state on the front of the UPS, it's running a quick self-test to make sure it's functional. The amber light indicates the self-test mode, and that green light indicated that we're back online. The blue light here is a visual indication that the lights, the work lights, the emergency lights are in fact off. And in order to turn on the work lights or emergency lights for normal daily use without having to cycle the UPS, we simply power on the system. And I have a desk lamp here that'll represent our work lights and emergency lights for the purposes of this demonstration. Notice there's also a voltage output indicator on the system as well. It should also be noted that the UPS has a wealth of data available on its internal touch screen, or not touch screen, just screen, and you touch the buttons to make the things happen on the screen. Now, the two amber indicator lights tell two very important things about the system, mainly for troubleshooting purposes remotely. So they're included to aid the owner with remote assistance. The amber light that's indicated right now tells us that the control relay for the output voltage is de-energized. It's in its relaxed mode. So the UPS is allowing current to pass out to our work lights. In a day-to-day situation, we have our work lights on during the daytime. It gets closer to showtime. Work lights go off, and the system switches to the lights off mode. I say it's a mode because more than just simple switching is taking place. There are a couple of deterministic circuits that prevent any of these indicators from indicating a false state. They're always correct under any operating circumstances. The lower amber light tells us that the deterministic lights off relay is now energized. One of the features that makes the system very predictable. Now, let's simulate a power failure. I'm going to disconnect the system from its mains power supply. The emergency lights came on, even though that the lights off switch was in the lights off mode. The UPS output light is still on, yet the primary power present and control power present green lights are off, showing us that there is no primary power. It is also impossible to change states of the emergency lighting when the system is operating in the emergency power loss mode. I'm going to restore power now. Power is restored, and the lights will return to their off state as desired. Of course, if the system were in the lights on mode when we lost power, the lights would remain on when I make that shift. In addition, there's also a remote control that operates on standard 5-pin DMX. I'll put the box here in the frame. And once again, because of the deterministic nature of this system, these lights aren't simply wired on either side of their selector switches. They're stating the fact of the state of the power in the system. So, we turn our work lights on. Both boxes transfer. We have our on light on our remote control box, as I would anticipate that this unit would be mounted somewhere out of the way under the stage. Now, we can remotely change the states of the lights from a convenient location, perhaps backstage. Please note that the remote control is not functional when we're in the lights off mode. We can't override that setting. Again, by design, to ensure constant knowledge of the state of the systems. So, lights on the local enables a remote. That was me fat fingering the knob to do its job. You'll notice there's a slight delay on some of the indicator lights. That's because their power supplies are ramping up as they are truly deterministic and are driven by the different input and output voltages throughout the system. That's a fancy way of saying it can't be wrong. I think this covers the major operating modes. Other things that are possible are the UPS could be switched off manually. And of course, the white UPS on light now fails. And once again, the system can't cheat around the UPS, so power is not present, power is not available because the UPS is off. We know that control power and primary power are present. Once we restore the UPS to its operating state, it'll perform a quick boot, the lights come back on, and we're back in the remote or local lighting control business. I think that concludes this pretty DIY demonstration of this product. I hope it answers all your questions. I'm sure there might be more. Feel free to ask them.